The UTRGV volleyball team is coming off of a sweep of Lamar. Coach Todd Lowry, ring that bell! The UTRGV Coaches Show starts now! Woo! Coach, look at this. This is some kind of upgrade.
Oh yeah, out enjoying the sun in this beautiful LC 500 convertible.
Well, I hate to ask you, but can we go inside to do a coach's show?
I suppose we'll get out of it for a while.
Let's do it. Welcome to the UTRGV Coaches Show at North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. I'm Jonah Goldberg. This is UTRGV Volleyball Head Coach Todd Lowry. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, the UTRGV volleyball team is coming off of a sweep of Lamar, currently sitting in third, but right on the heels of second in the Southwest Division. A lot to be decided in this final weekend of the regular season. What do you got, 14, 15 wins now, Coach?
Yeah, sitting right in there somewhere. And, you know, great weekend last weekend at home, to be back at home and get a win over Lamar. And like they say, no place like home. And especially with us, we always have such a great crowd. And we needed a weekend at home for sure.
You know, you haven't had a lot of home matches this year, and a quirk of the conference schedule. Despite that, you are on pace for one of the best attended seasons in program history, which says a lot about that fan support.
Yeah, the fan support's been great all year long, and you know, hats off to them and hats off to our girls as well. I think they just are fun to watch play, and they interact with the community. They interact on campus really well with the fans, and they make themselves available. And that's ultimately what we want. We don't want it to just be come and watch them, but we want them to ultimately have that experience of interaction with our student athletes, and it just creates growth on both sides.
Everything I needed to know about your team, I learned a couple weeks ago. So you may remember at a home match a little while back, Ingrid Foltron was trying to play a ball toward the media table where I sit broadcasting the game. And I see it coming toward us and the equipment, so I kind of just put my hands up, not paying any attention to who's coming toward me. And then she was racing in, ended up knocking over the television that we use to look at replays. And you know, not a big deal, right? I mean, it happens. I didn't think much of it. In fact, in my head, I was feeling horrible that I was wondering, oh my God, did I stop her from playing a ball that she could have gone to? And I never went back to look at the replay to find out because I don't want to know the answer. But then a couple days later, next time I see Ingrid, she comes up to me and she apologizes to me for smashing into the table, knocking over the equipment, which kind of surprised me because I felt like I was the one who needed to apologize. And she apologized for that, and then after the next match when she didn't knock over everything, she came over and said, see, I didn't knock over anything today. I mean, what a great person.
Yeah, Ingrid's got just a great personality, and she's young, obviously being a freshman, but she's growing so much, and really she takes everything into account of what she's doing on a day-to-day basis, of how she interacts with people, not just on the court, but in practice, and the people around our program, and she's learning, and it's going to take her a long ways, not just in volleyball, but in life, as she takes in these experiences and learns how to interact with fans, administrators, table crew, whatever it is. And she's just a genuine person and wants everybody to be as happy as she is ultimately.
Well, she has a lot to be happy about right now. She has been playing really well. That freshman, it does not look like a freshman right now against Stephen F. Austin almost 2 weeks ago now. It was 16 kills and 9 digs, stepping up in a big way when Sarah Cruz went down hurt in the first set.
Obviously, like offensively, she's been there throughout the year. We've seen that in the front row where she's really been able to contribute and come off the bench. And in a handful of matches, she's really come in and turned the tide for us where we were struggling to get out of rotations, and she comes in and gets a couple quick 2-3 kills and helps us get out. She was a big part of the momentum shift at Corpus as well in that 5-set win. So the thing with her is she's really committed to being a better passer. And, we need that outside to be able to pass in those rotations. And that's what she's really committed to, with a ton of extra work before practice, after practice, at night, and really focusing in on her technique during practice and getting better to be allowing her to get some more playing time. And like I said, we definitely are high on what she's doing in the front row, and people are just having a hard time finding her on the block.
Cruz is back, your possible WAC Player of the Year, and then we saw against Lamar, Fultron comes on in the second set and hitting about 700-800, and I think it speaks a lot to your success on the pins. But of course, happy to have Cruz back, because like we said, she's averaging 4.2, 4.3 kills per set, and she's your all everything right there.
Yeah, for sure. It was good to see Sarah get back on the court and have a good match against Lamar and be confident in that ankle that she went down on. And then, like I said, it allowed Indy to come in and take some pressure off of Ioana, who, had a slow start in the front row. And like you said, Indy goes in and gets 4 or 5 kills in that set too, and goes for a crazy high percentage. And then all of a sudden, there's no pressure on Sarah. There's no pressure on other players. Young freshman Paris Key gets loose in the middle all of a sudden, and then things started rolling against Lamar, and we were able to get away from them. Paris
Key has been fascinating for me to watch this year. At the start of the year, she was a little outside hitter, and she was doing fairly well. And when Duda Rodriguez is able to get back into the lineup, had her more in the back row passing, and now she's starting a middle blocker, and it looks like she's been there her whole life.
Yeah, Paris obviously has some experience in the middle, so it wasn't something that was unknown to us. Trying to get some people some rest here through this homestand, and just seeing what things look like, and we definitely saw a lot of things to be happy about with Paris in the middle. She's very quick side to side, i.e. Alex Ecker. So we see a lot of the same blocking things that she was able to do, and then offensively, she's so fast off the floor that probably makes a middle blocker commit a little earlier when we're in system than maybe Vettel and Louisa does. So it's definitely a different look for our offense when she's in the middle. And, Paris is just a tremendous athlete and a very well-trained volleyball player.
You have so many young players who are contributing. We were talking about freshmen a little bit with Fultron and with Key. Luana Emiliano, her 3rd Freshman of the Week award this week.
Yeah, Luana's been just tremendous all year long. You watch her play and you forget she's a freshman, probably more so than even any of the other kids. Just her poise on the court and her ability to lead this group from the setter position has been huge for us. And she's a big part of why we're where we are. And, I would have to say a pretty good candidate for Freshman of the Year, averaging, I think she's pretty close to averaging a double-double as far as matches go. So plays defense well, sets it well, and then, like I said, more than anything, the intangibles just controls the rhythm of our team, and it's been so much fun, and it's a good place to be in as a coach to see freshmen contributing that much, especially in a role like setter. I think she's the only starting freshman setter in the entire WAC. It just doesn't happen. It takes kids time to grow into that position, and kind of same thing with the libero position. Ivana's had to take on some pretty broad shoulders as a freshman without much relief.
And, Luana is 3rd in the WAC in assists per set. She's 3rd in the WAC in aces per set. She's 16th in digs per set. So she's really been able to do a lot of everything. I think you're right, a great Freshman of the Year candidate. You've got in her, you've got a Player of the Year candidate in Sarah Cruz, and now you've got a chance to give yourself a really strong seed. We know you're going to the WAC tournament, not an issue. But, right now it's a question of will you finish 2nd or 3rd in the Southwest Division? And you're going to this week, I believe there's a scenario, and don't quote me on this, all of you watching at home, just in case I got it wrong. But Sam Houston plays Stephen F. Austin on Saturday. That's their only match this week. If Sam Houston beats Stephen F. and you beat Tarleton and Abilene Christian this week, I think you pass Stephen F. Austin in the standings for the number 2 spot coming out of the Southwest Division going into the WAC tournament. So how do you approach this week knowing that that is a possibility, although you don't actually control that part of it?
We're in control of our own destiny, and that's what we've talked about all year long, and we've had our chance to either step or move up or a little bit, and I think that was some growing pains on the road that we went through, and I think that took a little bit of a toll on the girls. I think they really wanted to go to SFA and Sam Houston and steal 1 or 2 of those matches and put ourselves and a chance to maybe even win the WAC Southwest. But I think they wore that one pretty heavy, and I think it was a good week for us last week to grow through that as freshmen and talk about growth, not just this year. This team, like you said, is so young, and they can't get hung up on one win or one loss, because as this group grows, and if they can learn to move past those things, and really we talked about learning to be consistent. We feel like when we play well, we're as good as anybody in the WAC, and then how do we, when we're not on our best days, not fall to be one of the bottom teams in the WAC. You know, we want to stay day to day as one of those top 2 or 3 teams in the WAC, day in and day out. And then when we do have a good day, we feel like we can beat anybody. So we talked a lot about consistency and what it takes to be that team every single night, what it takes to be that team on the road. And then obviously with the crazy schedule this year, us getting the crossover match away and then having our matches bookend on that crossover away and away really took its toll on the girls 3 weeks in a row. And I'm not even so much sure it was a physical toll as it was a mental toll. We mentally didn't look well. It was nice to see them bounce back at Lamar.
Only one home match in the entire month of October, but 3 here to end the season. Next one Thursday at 7 p.m. against Tarleton, Saturday at 2 p.m. against Abilene Christian at the UTRGV Fieldhouse. Get your tickets now, utrgvtickets.com, and make sure you are in your seats early on Saturday for the Senior Day ceremony.
Yeah, you know, Senior Day rolls around. Obviously, we have a couple of those. We'll honor Veronica Andova and Yasmin Da Silva. Both will finish up their career here and move on to their next steps in their lives. So those kids have been great for us over the last couple of years, and Vettel obviously for longer than a couple of years. And those kids will be deeply missed, but it's time to be a good day to honor them and get them on their way. And, you know, we'll look for the next group to have to replace them.
UTRGV volleyball head coach Todd Lowry, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Make sure you check out the Vaqueros at home this week, Thursday and Saturday. To get your tickets now, visit utrgvtickets.com. Let's take a time out. When we come back, we'll be joined by UTRGV men's golf head coach Phillip Tate. This is the UTRGV Coaches Show from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley.
In the minute it takes to knock back your drink, spot your new crush, or cheer on the home team, you could do something that really makes a difference. Sign up as an organ donor. In less than a typical timeout, you could sign up to save 8 lives. It sure beats using a minute to mustard that hot dog. Sign up at tosa1.org.
The Rio Grande Valley is growing every day. That's why you need a team you can trust. 2 stations, 2 languages.
Se le pide a cualquier persona con información.
The most experienced news anchors in the valley.
And I'm Dina Herrera Garza.
The largest weather team keeping you informed in English.
The tracker front updates forecast.
Y en español.
Te le voy a estar explicando un poco más de eso.
A sports team covering the RGV like no one else.
What this win means.
We're live in the morning, at noon, and in the evenings. Anytime you need us, we're online and on social media too. We do this all in both languages.
We are tracking breaking news.
Nosotros estamos aquí para platicarles cómo va.
Who else can deliver this type of coverage?
Tonight at 10 in the meantime, have a great evening.
No one. Channel 5 News
And Azteca Valle.
working together for you.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Now hiring awesome crew. Apply at workatcanes.com.
I got mine because I'm a former student athlete.
I've got mine because the UTRGV Vaqueros are a hometown team.
I've got mine. Visa.
I've got mine because I'm a proud alumni.
I've got mine.
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 Go Vaqueros.
Get yours. UTRGV basketball season tickets are on sale now. Visit goutrgv.com/tickets to get yours today.
Town Place Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh's newest destination spot and a host hotel of UTRGV Athletics, with the amenities that a frequent long-stay traveler or visiting team in town to take on the V-Nation looks for. The nightlife is amplified with Ignite Lounge, a great way to wrap up a long workday or celebrate a big win. Town Place Suites by Marriott on Trenton, in between Business 281 and Sugar Road, and minutes away from the excitement of UTRGV. Town Place Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh.
Coach, this car looks good on you.
Thank you. I love it. I'll take it.
Awesome. Well, how would you like to go inside to a coach's show?
You got it. Let's do it.
Welcome back to the UTRGV Coaches Show. Coming to you from North Park, Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. My name is Jonah Goldberg. This is Phillip Tate. He's the head coach of the UTRGV men's golf program. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thanks, Jonah, for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, Coach, your fall season recently came to an end. How's your team look?
It looks good. We've added some new players. We've got a couple good returning players. We had a very, very good schedule, one of the best schedules that I think we've had going in the years that I've been here. We went to TPC San Antonio, which is where they host the Valero Texas Open. We went to Trinity Forest, which is where they've had the Byron Nelson Classic for 2 years. We went to Bentwater Country Club, which is a very nice golf course, and then we wrapped things up at New Mexico State University Golf Course.
How special is it to be able to go and see all those beautiful golf courses?
It's very special. One of my favorite things to do is to go to New Mexico State's tournament because of the mountains. I really get a kick out of the mountains out there. I started going there in 1995 as a player, played there 4 years, and now I guess this is probably my 6th time to go as a coach, so definitely one of my favorite places to go.
Well, that's really cool. And you talk about the New Mexico State tournament, did very well there, finished 3rd place in that tournament. What did you see from your team that allows you to finish so highly among such a competitive pack?
Well, I saw just a strong desire. You know, I think that we've gotten off to a little bit of a sluggish start, and I think the guys were frustrated with it, and they wanted to be more competitive, and they wanted to show what they could do, and I think that they saw no reason that this wasn't a great opportunity to do it.
Now, in fairness, you have a young team. You have one senior, and then everybody else, freshmen and sophomores. So there's still some growing to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it like having such a young team?
It's a wonderful opportunity to reestablish a culture. You know, I think we've had a good culture for the past 6 years, and now we get a chance to rebond and grow and see what the new guys like, what they don't like, and kind of take it from there. It's like I say, it's an opportunity. We want to keep some of the old, you know, but we want to also add some of the new. So the incoming freshmen, the sophomores, they've got fresh ideas, fresh perspective, and it's been educational for me as well.
You talk about team culture a little bit, and I know that team chemistry is also something that's very important to you. And I think some of our viewers might be surprised to hear that, because I mean, isn't golf an individual sport?
It is. You go out there and you play by yourself, and you don't see your teammates when you're playing very often out there at all. But chemistry is so important because it's five players and you count 4, and at any given moment, one of those players may struggle. And so I think it's important to know that you're not only are you trying to make a putt for yourself, but you're trying to make a putt for your teammate. You're not only trying to hit a good shot for yourself, but you're trying to hit a good shot for your teammate. And at the end of the day, the team trophy, the team championship, that's really what the tournament kind of thrives on, and it's what the results are based on. Like you didn't mention we had a good individual finish at New Mexico State. You mentioned that we had a good team finish. And so in collegiate golf, the team chemistry is very important, because if you don't have it, you're not going to perform well as a team. So it's something that we work very hard to try to establish early, and to try to continue and keep building on throughout the year.
So when you're recruiting a student athlete, what do you look for?
Well, I'm looking, one, for someone that really wants to be here. I think coming to South Texas, it's very hot, it's humid, it's a little bit different than where some people have come from. So first of all, I'm looking for someone that really wants to come to UTRGV. Then I'm looking for someone that really wants to play for a team. When you talk about individuals, I think you can run across people that don't bond well with other players, that they don't gel well with their teammates. You can kind of get a scouting report of that. And so I'm looking for people that have a reputation of being strong leaders, working well within groups, and wanting to win a team championship.
And you're also looking for people who are community oriented. I think we've seen that a lot from your teams over the years. I remember a few years ago, you're the one who spoke up about doing a yearly campus cleanup, and that's become an annual tradition. And your teams have always been at the forefront of our community service.
Well, thanks, Jonah. Community service is very important to us. These student athletes, no matter what the sport, they have a great life. They've been given an opportunity, as you mentioned earlier, to travel around the country. We travel to some great places. In the spring, we're going to Chambers Bay, and we're going to play a U.S. Open golf course, for example. And so I think that to give back, to see what life is like without a college degree, to some extent, without having had the opportunity to build a resume, to build a life, to establish yourself. I mean, without college golf, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair doing what I'm doing. And I just want my players to appreciate that. It's genuinely to give back, to appreciate, to introspect and think to themselves, I've really got it pretty good. I should want to give back. I should want to give to my community. And then also the community does so much for us. We get to play 6 golf courses around here. We get to go out to any golf course anytime we want. A lot of people that pay to play golf let us in front of them, let us go ahead of them. Just say, you guys go right ahead on and practice. We're never forced to leave or anything like that. So community service is it's a big deal to the team. It's a big deal to building the culture, but it's a big deal to building the individual that I want to have graduate and that played for me. It's very important that type of person develops the way that I want them to.
And with that community-focused aspect, you recently held a free youth clinic in Brownsville. Tell us a little about that.
Well, it was a lot of fun. We had about 30 kids out there, and we had one of our players dressed up in an all Velcro suit, helmet, target on his chest, little bullseye on his chest, and they got to hit Velcro tennis balls at him with plastic golf clubs, and so that was a lot of fun. There was good instruction there. I think some kids learned some things, but mostly, hopefully, we introduced the game of golf to some people that hadn't really been exposed to it. Golf's a lifetime sport. You get to play it you can play it by yourself. You don't have to always have a team. You don't have to have 11 people around you. You don't have to have another team around you. So it's something that you can always go do. And so hopefully these 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds, whoever, that we had out there, hopefully they found a little bit of love for the game.
You're in your 7th season now, right?
I think so. I lose track a little bit there.
So here since September 4th, 2015, not that I'm counting, what's it been like watching this university and this region grow around you?
It's fascinating, really. The additions of things like Top Golf down the road, things like that. It really has just been fascinating. Watching the school grow, watching how enrollment grow, watching the spirit on campus grow, watching the transition from UTPA to UTRGV grow and the excitement grow, seeing more people turn up for volleyball games and turn up for basketball games and soccer games. It's really been exciting. I'm happy for the students here because I think that they have a lot to enjoy and they have a lot to get out of their education at UTRGV.
Now, I see you at games from time to time, and yeah, we had Coach Lowry on earlier in the show, and one thing we talked about was the incredible fan support that they've gotten all year. So I'm going to ask you right here, right now, they've got 2 matches this week, Thursday, Saturday. Do you intend to show up at one of them with a painted chest?
Not with a painted chest, because I don't have the best physique in the world. I don't get in there with my team and do the same workouts that they do. They're a lot younger than I am, so not with a painted chest, but I will have a hot dog and some popcorn and enjoy the show.
Good enough. Coach Tate, head coach of the UTRGV men's golf program. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Jonah, for having me. I appreciate it.
UTRGV opens up its spring season in February. For more information on UTRGV men's golf, visit goutrgv.com. We'll be back in a moment to wrap things up on the UTRGV Coaches Show from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley.
We all want the best for our families, to love, to laugh, to live a healthy life. At UT Health RGV, we believe every family should have access to the most advanced medical care right here, close to home. With over 100 board-certified doctors at 20 locations valley-wide, with life-saving procedures and treatments that keep you and your family healthy, UT Health RGV is here for you. High-quality care for every patient, for every family. Find your way to the best care at uthealthrgv.org.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Support. Some call it the foundation of success. Joining the V Club assists in the success of our student athletes. Preparing our student athletes for excellence in life.
Thank you for tuning in for this edition of the UTRGV Coaches Show. We'll be back with you next week, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Somos El Valle, Channel 5.3, Cable 1241. Missed an episode? Want to watch this one again? You can check out archived episodes on our YouTube channel. Go utrgv.com/coaches show. Big thanks to UTRGV volleyball coach Sean Lowry and men's golf coach Phillip Tate for joining us this week. Next week we'll be joined by UTRGV men's basketball head coach Matt Figger. But for now, this is Jonah Goldberg saying so long from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. This has been the UTRGV Coaches Show. Get your V's up.